Have you ever pulled an all-nighter? Maybe for a final exam, a last-minute project, or just a night out that got a little too wild. We've all been there. We feel groggy, irritable, and our brain feels like it's running on dial-up. But what happens if you push it further? What if you don't sleep for 24 hours, or 48, or even 72 hours straight? Today, we're re-diving deep into the science of what happens to your mind and body when you decide to stay awake for 3 full days. Spoiler alert, it gets weird and it gets dangerous. So grab a coffee, or maybe don't, after you hear this, and let's explore the bizarre journey of extreme sleep deprivation. Let's start the clock. The first 24 hours without sleep. Most of us have experienced this at some point. The initial hours might not feel too bad. You might even feel a surge of euphoria, a kind of wired energy. This is your brain releasing dopamine, a feel-good chemical, as a stress response to being awake for so long. But this feeling is deceptive. As the 24-hour mark approaches, things start to go downhill. Your cognitive functions take a significant hit. Decision-making becomes impaired, your reaction time slows down, and your memory starts to fail you. Studies have shown that being awake for 24 hours is cognitively equivalent to having a blood alcohol content of 0.1%, which is over the legal driving limit in most places. Think about that next time you consider driving after an all-nighter. Physically, you'll start to feel the strain too. Your body releases more stress hormones like cortisol, which can increase your blood pressure and heart rate. You'll likely have tremors in your hands, feel colder than usual, and your coordination will be off. Your senses might become heightened, but not in a good way. Lights might seem too bright, sounds too loud. It's your body's alarm system screaming at you that it needs to rest. You're irritable, your emotions are on a roller coaster, and you're just not yourself. And this is only day 1. Now, let's push into day 2. We are crossing the 48-hour mark without sleep. This is where things transition from just feeling tired to becoming seriously strange. The cognitive deficits we saw at 24 hours become much more severe. You'll struggle to form coherent sentences or hold a conversation. Your brain's ability to process information and solve problems is drastically reduced. But the most alarming development is something called microsleep. Microsleeps are brief, involuntary episodes of sleep that can last from a fraction of a second to about 30 seconds. You might be staring at a screen, and for a few seconds, your brain just checks out. You won't even realize it happened, but if you're driving a car or operating machinery, those few seconds can be catastrophic. At this stage, your immune system also takes a massive hit. The activity of your natural killer cells, which are crucial for fighting off viruses and even cancer cells, drops significantly. This makes you far more susceptible to getting sick. But the most bizarre part of 48 hours without sleep is the potential onset of hallucinations. You might start seeing things that aren't there, shadowy figures in your peripheral vision, or hearing whispers when no one is around. It's essentially a waking dream state, and it's incredibly disorienting and frightening. Your body is now in a state of extreme stress, and your mind is starting to lose its grip. Welcome to day 3, 72 hours without sleep. At this point, you're in a severe state of physical and psychological distress. Your cognitive functions are almost non-existent. You can't focus on anything for more than a few seconds. Complex thoughts are impossible. Your memory is shot, and you'll experience profound disorientation. You might not know where you are, what day it is, or even who you are. The hallucinations we mentioned at 48 hours become much more vivid, complex, and persistent. It's no longer just shadows in the corner of your eye. You might see fully formed figures, have conversations with people who aren't there, or experience elaborate paranoid delusions. Your brain is essentially in a state of temporary psychosis. The line between dream and reality is completely blurred. One documented case involved a radio DJ named Peter Tripp who stayed awake for 201 hours for a charity stunt back in 1959. By day 3, he was convinced that people were trying to poison him and saw spiders crawling out of his shoes. His brainwaves even showed patterns similar to REM sleep while he was awake, meaning his brain was literally dreaming while his eyes were open. This is not just about feeling tired anymore. It's about a complete breakdown of mental function. Physically, your body is in survival mode. The risk of heart attack and stroke increases. Your body's ability to regulate its core temperature is gone, and you could be at risk for hypothermia or hypothermia. Simple tasks become monumental challenges. Your perception of pain is altered, and you are incredibly vulnerable to accidents. This level of sleep deprivation is considered a medical emergency. So why does this happen? What is it about sleep that is so critical? Sleep isn't just a passive state of rest. It's an active, highly organized process that is vital for our survival. During sleep, our brain gets to work. It consolidates memories, moving them from short-term to long-term storage. This is why you can't remember things when you're sleep-deprived. Our brain also clears out toxic waste products that build up during our waking hours. One of these toxins is beta-amyloid, a protein strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Think of it like a janitorial crew that cleans up your brain every night. When you don't sleep, that trash piles up, leading to the cognitive fog and impairment we've discussed. Sleep is also crucial for emotional regulation. The amygdala, our brain's emotional center, becomes hyperactive without sleep, leading to mood swings, anxiety, and irritability. And of course, there's the physical restoration. During deep sleep, our body repairs tissues, grows muscle, and synthesizes hormones. Our immune system recharges and strengthens its defenses. Skipping sleep is like skipping all of these essential maintenance processes. Eventually, the system just breaks down. The world record for staying awake is around 11 days and 25 minutes, set by Randy Gardner in 1964. He experienced severe paranoia, hallucinations, and cognitive dysfunction. Thankfully, he recovered, but his experience served as a stark warning. The Guinness World Records no longer recognizes this category due to the extreme danger involved. The takeaway from all of this is clear: sleep is not a luxury. It is a fundamental biological necessity, just as important as breathing, eating, and drinking water. While most of us will never attempt to stay awake for 72 hours, chronic sleep deprivation, consistently getting less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours a night, can have similar, albeit slower burning, detrimental effects. It increases your risk for a host of chronic health problems, including obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and mental health disorders. So, the next time you're tempted to burn the midnight oil and push through another night, remember what's happening inside your body and brain. Prioritizing sleep is one of the single most effective things you can do for your physical health, your mental clarity, and your overall well-being. Protect your sleep. Your mind and body will thank you for it. If you struggle with sleep, it's really important to talk to a doctor or a specialist. There are many effective strategies and treatments available. What's the longest you've ever stayed awake? And what weird things did you experience? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the amazing and sometimes strange world of our own bodies. Sleep well.